Hello guys, this is your friend Cindy, and in this video we are going to talk about a single or a one cell array or single dimensional array. Okay, so first you have to create a Java application, and we're not going to use a frame. We're going to use just a simple Java application. So I have here created a new package, and I'm going to add our new Java class here. So it's going to be arrays, and it's good to go. So for our Java application to work or to even run, we need to add our main method here. So to add the main method, you can use the shortcut keys or shortcut features of your NetBeans. So for example, you are going to use the shortcut, just type P, and then you can hold control and space together, and then the shortcut will appear here. So in our case, let's say we're going to use this main here. As you can see there, it's returning main, and our main method is has been created. Okay, so let's try to run and check if it's working. So it's working just well. It says build successful. So here we're going to learn how to initialize arrays. So first you have to determine what kind of array you're going to make. So you have to determine the data type of the array. It can be string, it can be int, boolean, float, or double. So in our case, let's say we're going to create an array of string. So you can say string, and then the indicator of the array. So the indicator of the array is the open and close bracket. So this one. So this one is the open and this one is the close, and then you have to it needs to be followed by the variable name. So for example, let's say my array, and then equals to new string. We're going to initialize the value of our array, and then the bracket. Okay, so inside this bracket, we're going to determine how many storage does our array need to have. Okay, so for example, let's say we are going to be needing 5 storage for our array, and you have to put it inside this bracket here. So it will our array will be going to have a new 5 storage of string. Okay, so here we're going to put the value inside our array, or in every storage of our array. So the storage of arrays is index based, so it will be from 0 to or so on. So for example, our size here is 5. It will be going it will be 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and it will be total of 5 storage. So for example, may array, and then you have to determine what index of array you're going to put the data. So for example, 0, that starts from 0, and then put the string here. Because we have created string, we need the string indicator, which is the double quote, the open and close double quote. And if our array is character, then it's going to be a single quote. So it is string, then it's double quote, and then you're going to put the data inside double quote in order for the data to be input to our array via their index. Okay, for example, it says index 1, okay, or so index 0, and then we have to copy this line and then paste it 4 more times, and we have we're going to change the index here. So as I've said earlier, we have the total count of 5 arrays on our string array here. So if it's 5, the index starts with 0, then it's going to be the index array index number 0, or yeah, index number 0, index number 1, 2, and 2, 4. Okay, so let's change the value here. So at this moment we are putting data. We're putting this data inside of our array. Okay, so the index is determining which storage of our array is skipping the data. Okay, so for example, we are going to show this text, the index number 2. Then we have to use this array, or this index of array, the my array index number 2, in order for us to show this data. So for example, let's type system.out. So you can use shortcut again. Just type sys, capital letter S here, and then control space, and you can use this out here. It means system out. Okay, erase that, and then let's put the my array index. We have determined the index if you want to output it. So let's say number 2, and then we want this data, right, to be output. So it's index number 2. It says index number 2 here, and that's what we need, or that's what we want for a program to do. Okay, so it's good. Now what if we are going to output all of the data here in our array, all of them? So if we're going to output many data from arrays, then we need another kind of method, or we need to change our code, because if we want to output 5 of this, then we are going to type 5 of this, and that is a very wrong programming practice. So instead of typing all of the data, we can use loops. So in our case, let's say we're going to use for loops, and then it's like it. In our for loop, we don't have to consider anything except how many loops do we want for our for loops to loop itself, or to repeat itself. So here, the 10 value here, you are going to change this value and put the total length of our array, which is 5, right? So how could we get the length of array? So you can copy this variable here, and then paste it here, and put a period, and then you can see all of the available methods here, and you can see here the length. So you can read the documentation. So the length is returning the total number of or the size that we initialize to our array, and this size will be 5, of course. So our for loop will be dynamic to how many array, or how or what is the size of our array. Okay, and then we are going to pass, or we're going to write the code here inside. So what we want to do is to output all of this array, or all of this data from every index of array. So we're going to push them, or we're going to put the my array, and then we have to determine what index it is. So for normal circumstances, or if we don't use loops, we can just write a number here. For example, it's 0, or 1, or 2, or 3, or 4. But in our case, we are going to pass this initialization or incrementation variable here, this I variable. Okay, so if we pass this variable, it will be like, it will loop and output all of the array, because the value of I is 0, and it will increment, and it will be increment here also. So our array will be, or our output will be like this. So it's index 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 because of our for loops. For loop.